We will be joined by 3 doctors who are experts in family medicine, psychology, and hematology. More later, but let's listen to these very important reminders. Okay, this event will be recorded for the Shell Club 15 files. It is assured that any information in this recording will be safeguarded by Shell Club 15 Plus Inc. in compliance with the Data Privacy Act. We will be posting this video at our website. Please stay logged in if you agree. Please label your gadgets with your name for proper identification. During the event, you may use the chat room if you have queries. You may also use the chat room for any concerns. The Secretariat will attend to you. We will be muting all participants if needed so as not to distract our speakers. Please note that we can put you on mute, but you have to unmute yourself when allowed by the host. In compliance with Shell safety standards, please ensure that you follow this safety advice. Please be aware of your surroundings, especially if you are using a headset. Thank you very much for your attention and compliance. Good afternoon again. We are here, another event by Shell Club 15. And before we start our webinar, I want to thank our member, Yet Aguado, for agreeing to do the invocation. Over to you, Yet.
Okay. Do I have audio? I have audio.
Yes, Yet. You can be heard. Yeah.
Start now? I can start?
Yeah, you can start, please.
Okay.
Thank
In the name
you.
of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord God Almighty, we beseech you to bless this afternoon's session on health by competent members of the medical profession. As we grow in years, our health takes center stage, and it becomes the most compelling concern in our lives. We thank you, dear God, for making it possible for retirees to learn more about health and its issues. Thank you to Shell Club 15 for organizing this, and to the Secretariat for its untiring efforts. Heal our member retirees who are sick now and those who are experiencing health problems. Open our minds and hearts to health learnings from our guest doctors. We ask you this, Lord God, in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Yet. That was a beautiful prayer. Thank you very much. It's a beautiful start for our webinar. Before we begin, I would like to tell everybody that you should listen carefully to our resource speakers because there will be quizzes to be given to you. At the end, it doesn't necessarily have to do anything with the lecture or the webinar, but we've chosen health facts from Google. So yung mga answers natin is taken from Google, so we cannot debate on the answers. No, every correct answer will get 500 pesos. No, so I will have 20 questions for you. Para kasi yung baka makatulong ang mga senior pareho ko. No, so when we have money, we're motivated. No, so siguro magigising tayo. No, it's an unholy hour for us when we always take a rest. No, but just be with us for the next 2 hours, and we promise you will learn a lot, and you stand to win some prizes. Okay. As I said, I'll start with our lady doctor first. No, our first doctor is Dr. Sandra C. Ebrada. She has a master's in psychology, major in counseling, Ateneo de Manila University. She has a PhD in Philippine Studies from the University of the Philippines in Diliman. She is also a registered psychologist and has been in the practice for over 20 years. Private practice during psychotherapy for adolescents and adults at PsyConsult Inc. using compassion-focused therapy, among other approaches. She is a consultant psychologist at the Education and Training Department of the Lung Center of the Philippines, providing well-being services to staff and patients. She used to teach part-time at the psychology department of the Ateneo de Manila University and De La Salle University, Manila. Okay, may I welcome our doctor, Dr. Sandra Ebrada, our psychologist. Hi, doctor.
Hi, good
afternoon,
afternoon, everyone.
Ano naman, video, ano yung focus yung, paki-spotlight naman si doctor para makita ng ating audience.
Okay.
Para yan si Dr. Ebrada.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you, doctor. Now I have the honor to introduce our male doctor. There's also another female doctor, but I'll introduce her last. Okay. I would like to welcome Jake Brian S. Cortez. He finished Doctor of Medicine at St. Luke's Medical Center, College of Medicine in 2016. Bata pa siya, no? Finished specialty training in family and community medicine at Family Doc Ayala Health in 2021. He currently works as assistant professor at St. Luke's Medical Center, College of Medicine and Medical Safety Physician at Cognizant Technology Solutions. Let us give a warm round of applause for Dr. Jake Brian Cortez. Dr. Cortez, spotlight, please. Spotlight. Norman. All right.
Hello? Yes po.
Please, spotlight on Dr. Cortez.
Can he on his video?
Dr. Cortez, do you have your video on? Dr. Cortez.
I think he's not yet in, Mila.
He's not yet in. All right.
I cannot find him.
You can find him. Okay. What about, is Dr. Lisa around, Dr. Sandra?
I don't see her either.
Not yet. Okay. So maybe they're coming in later. Baka technical difficulty or some consultations happening there. So I think we have to start with you, Dr. Sandra, and then you have to fill in all the time until they arrive.
Oh, no.
You will have a nice time with the psychologist. No? Can we put her on spotlight, please? Thank you.
Si Dr. Cortez talaga. Iba usapan namin, ha?
Indian yata tayo. And Dr. Lisa. No? Dr. Lisa, by the way, is a co-trustee in Leukemic Indigence Fund Endowment. I am a trustee there, and she is the active oncologist, no, and the hematologist, I think, and she treats, leukemic children for free. That is the association where I belong to. All right, Dr. Sandra, on to you.
Okay, so thank you everyone for the invitation. And yeah, like Mamila said, makinig kasi may konting prizes mamaya. But I will be, can you let me share screen, please, so I can share my PowerPoint?
Please make her a co-host. Thank you.
She's already a co-host.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Let me just share my screen. Okay, can everyone see my slide?
Yes, we can see it.
Yes.
I entitled it Well-Being During the Pandemic to encompass the mind part of the mind and body talk. But really, the body will always be part of our well-being. There's the emotions, our thoughts, our behaviors, and even our physical health. So I'd always like to start the talk with a breathing relaxation exercise. So I invite everyone to do this with me. It's just 3 minutes. Sometimes siguro ngayon, we're kind of distracted with what's going on. And it would be nice if we just focus on our breathing just to relax ourselves. So I invite you to sit properly with feet flat on the floor, hands on your lap, and then you can follow this breath bubble. Okay, it will expand as you breathe in and then grow smaller as you breathe out. And it's okay if at the start you have some difficulty, or if there are distractions. It is fine. I will guide you along the way, and then after a while, you can do this on your own. So let's start. Okay. So as you sit there quietly, there may be many thoughts that go through your mind, and that is fine. You can take those thoughts and then let go. Or you may hear sounds from outside, and that is fine too. Distractions. You just listen to the sound and then let go. But I invite you to just breathe in and breathe out. Or just observe your breathing at this point. Is it fast and shallow, or is it long and deep? And if you're ready, you can just follow the bubble as you breathe in and breathe out. And if you want, you can follow the air, okay, as you inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth or nose again. And you can observe, perhaps no, that as you breathe in, the air is kind of cool. And then when you breathe out, the air is warm. And that is fine. If you want, you can also put your hand on your chest and just feel your chest expanding as you breathe in and expanding as you breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And I will be quiet for a while as you just go through this breathing, relaxing exercise. Few more breaths. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in and breathe out. So, kumusta ang breathing ninyo? I hope
Relaxing.
I hope mas nakarelax ang breathing ninyo at mas nakarelax kayo. And this is just 3 minutes, and you can do it anytime in the day if you just want to relax a bit. You know, you can use this at the start as soon as you wake up, or when you take a nap after lunch, or even before you sleep. Okay. So thank you for that, for joining. Now, historically speaking, on March 11, 2020, the WHO declared this COVID-19 pandemic. And I would like to read this quote from a psychologist who said, you know, given the novelty and scope of the pandemic, there is little to no framework, particularly during the lifespan of the majority of the population alive, for how to manage the threat to health, lifestyle, and societal change. And it's really true. The world just shut down. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know what this virus was. And it was really a threat to our health, even our lifestyle and societal change. And so a little, going back to how we did during that time. So we learned new words, lockdown, isolation, quarantine, passes, as we help cope, because the lockdown meant we could not go out. And if those who are allowed to go out, there were certain requirements to be met, and you had to have a pass. And we had to learn all these different community quarantines, GCQ, ECQ, MECQ, just to try to, survive, to live our daily lives as much as possible. But it was not really that easy, because during that time, we had to deal with a lot of losses and grief. Even the basics of having our own rituals and routines, which was daily or weekly or regularly, we needed those routines and rituals because it provided a sense of purpose and structure and predictability. Tapos nawala yun. So even that can give us, a profound sense of loss. If you were used to doing the groceries, suddenly you couldn't do it. If you were used to going to your regular checkup, suddenly you couldn't do it. And that was really very difficult to accept. And then there was also the loss of jobs. Suddenly, all the restaurants, all the businesses tried to cope and survive as much as they could, but eventually, many businesses closed down and many people lost their jobs. And of course, this caused a financial strain on everyone, as well as a loss of sense of purpose and identity. And fortunately, we could adapt to work from home. Okay, but we also lost that working environment that would have been, very enjoyable. Then there was also the loss of relationships due to the physical distancing. So even the new relationship, sana, it could have ended, or living together in close quarters could have also increased the conflicts within the among the loved ones. Okay, and it was also difficult for us to visit those who we usually visit, where children could not visit their parents, for example, during weekends. And so this physical distance created really a great sense of isolation and loneliness. Okay? And then the quarantining, the isolation, the physical distancing meant that people who were home alone remained alone. And it was so difficult. We couldn't even hug our loved ones. Okay. And we couldn't even provide the support that the others needed along the way. So yung mga vacations, nawala na rin. Or time off, wala rin, because we had to do many things. And then for the young ones, the students, the academic disruptions, they couldn't go back to the campus. They had to shift to online. It was very difficult for them because, academic life, physically meeting classmates, walking around campus also provided a sense of identity as a student and connections with their classmates. So yung graduations pa nga na delayed, walang proms, and other celebrations. And even the loss of loved ones who got sick of COVID or other illnesses, and we couldn't even have our usual funeral rites. And now we have shifted na nga rin to go online for that. And what was also very great was the stigma, especially among the frontliners. For a while, there was a great stigma against them or anyone who had COVID because of the fear. But eventually that was also overcome. But still, like this Christmas picture here or image, it's like lumiit yung mundo natin with what happened to COVID and the losses we had. So we had to grieve for that. So if you have any of these feelings, then, we were afraid. We were also angry and frustrated that we couldn't do what we usually can do. We were anxious. What's going to happen now? Especially the uncertainty about the future and that sense of isolation now. How are the people who are far away from us? And what about us when we are just alone here? Who is going to help us? Of course, there was really that shock of what was happening then, and sadness and grief. The grieving was really there for these losses and the losses of the people who mean a lot to us. And for some of us, there was also depression. Couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, or we ate too much, slept too much. Suddenly we felt, unworthy, or life did not have any meaning. And, all these feelings are understandable, especially with what was happening then. Like the earlier quote said, we had no framework on how to deal with it. Okay. So with this virus here that looks like a big ball, I invite everyone to just right now breathe and acknowledge whatever feelings came then, which you recall now or you feel now, and name it. Again, sit quietly and where you are and just feel whatever you're feeling, and you can name it. So if you say, I was sad then, or I was afraid then, I was worried then, it's okay. It's okay to acknowledge these feelings. Because that was our natural way of trying to deal with these things, or trying to cope. Okay. So you can accompany those feelings with every breath that you take. Okay. You can go back to your natural breathing, and you can add more to it by also using the different senses to be more in the here and now. You can listen to the sounds around you, or you can see what the slide is showing. Be aware of what the slide is showing, that from that big coronavirus, now you see blurred lights at the back. Okay. And it's okay if we have all these feelings that we feel, because the more we open ourselves to these feelings, then the more our world will slowly enlarge. Okay. Because what happened then, there were many responses from government, from the community, and from each individual. Suddenly we felt that we had to help one another there. And we did. Be it personally, in your own family, you did help out, or in the community, where, for example, in community pantry, because we were aware that other people had more difficulty coping. Okay. And there was also psychological support somehow, with the use of technology, messaging, video calls, Zoom, we were able to reconnect somehow with family and friends. And even us, we shifted from our face-to-face services to online. And I really like this quote, which goes, go easy on yourself. You're doing great. This is just really hard. Okay. So I hope you also tell yourselves that. Go easy on yourself. You're doing great. This is just really hard. And then a year later, the vaccines came. And eventually, most of us got the vaccines, which helped a lot because it minimized the deaths. We still practiced, the safety protocols, but if we did get sick, it was a lot milder. And this enabled us to go out more, okay, to go back to the campuses, to our businesses, to open up more, to visit friends, to travel, okay, and it's also good to remind ourselves that even now, we're back na to, well, the optional na yung mask wearing, no? But we still do see people still wearing masks even though they go outside. It's really for us then to keep ourselves safe from the virus because it's still there, and also to help others feel safe. And so we've coped. Now we see all these Christmas decorations coming up. We're meeting with friends more and relatives more. We're traveling more here locally and abroad. Okay. Our students are back in the campuses. Kahit hybrid, okay yun. Tapos, yun nga, more businesses opening up, jobs are coming back. And pati yung jobs, mukhang hybrid na rin. We have learned that, hey, we can actually do work also online and not just go physically. No. And so we can also look back in all these things and acknowledge and recognize the actions we made, not just to cope, but I think to also remember that time what our values were really. And it challenged us eh. Kasi kung mawawala rin naman lahat, ano talagang naman ang pinaka-value natin? We find out, it's our relationships. We find out that even just spending time growing plants is okay. Cooking, it's okay to slow down. It's okay to reconnect in various ways. And, I think the value rin of being kind and generous to others came about then, because we knew nga naman that everybody was affected by this. So yung lights at the back slowly is coming more clearly, especially that now Christmas is coming, no? And let's do that. Let's recognize then the actions that we made and acknowledge and affirm ourselves. Okay, that may ginawa rin tayo. And so a lot of you, I guess, are back to your checkups, to your routines. I think your routines naman may not be 100% back because most probably your routines have changed as well. Okay. But remember then the values that, came out so significantly during this time. And you also recreated your life. You got into new things that you thought you never thought of before. You were able to also have finally time for the things that you sort of neglected. And when you found again a sense of purpose in what you're doing. Some of you may have gone back to your old jobs, or some of you may have gone to new jobs or new opportunities as well. Okay. And that's fine because now you are back taking control on how you would want to define your life and how you would want to live each day. And I think what also helped the time is we took it one day at a time. Yun lang ang meron tayo eh. This today, so what will I be able to do today? I don't have yet tomorrow, but today I can decide to be with my loved ones, to cook, to work, to be kind to others, to be generous to others. Okay? And by doing so, it gives meaning to our day and to our lives. So I found out that the green ribbon pala is the ribbon of mental health awareness. And this is just to add, what else can we do in terms of self-care? Because I think we need to do that as well, especially since we're always told to take care of others, but we also need to take care of ourselves. So this simple breathing exercise, being meditative or being mindful really helps. When you're so in the here and now, for example, when you're cooking, you smell the wonderful dish, you feel the texture of the things you're cutting, and that's already very meaningful. And of course, the basics, you eat well, you sleep well, you exercise. And check in with yourself from time to time. Kumusta na ako? Kailangan ko naman magpahinga? Do I need a break? Okay. And also be aware of what your feelings. Feelings are neither right nor wrong. It's just telling you where you are right now, your state of being. So if you say, I'm tired, I feel tired, maybe you can rest. Or I feel afraid, and maybe you can talk to somebody about your concerns. I feel sad because of a certain loss. That's okay too. And there are coping strategies, no? Mainly 3: solution focused. When there's a problem, again, let's find a solution. Or sometimes we cannot find a solution right away because we're too emotional. So it's fine. You can call a friend, or take a walk, just so we will manage or regulate our emotions. So it won't be too overwhelming. And sometimes we can also do distractions. We listen to music first, we play basketball, just to take our minds off it, so that eventually we are able to go back to the problem and find solutions to it. So you're at this point then, no? A friend was saying, when we go back to our lives, it's either a transition, which means going back to exactly the way things were before, or a transformation, setting a new routine and incorporating the old routines. So it's not a total 100% na going back to the way we were, but really putting in our learnings in the past 3 years have given us, and knowing that this is a better way for us now. And it also helps to go on a social media diet, because sometimes social media can be toxic and full of negativity. So it's okay to take time off there. And it also helps to have mini breaks. If you have to work straight for 8 hours, for example, take a few minutes, right, to just have the breathing exercise, for example, just to bring down your stress levels. And it's also nice if you have a ritual to start, your work day if you are still working, and a ritual to end your day or your work day if you are still working. So because it tells you then, okay, I've done with this and I can do other things now. And then I think we also need to practice self-affirmations. It's not easy, but it would be nice if we tell ourselves at times, good job, or that was kind of me to do it, just to acknowledge that we are able to contribute to this world. It's nothing, I don't think it's being selfish or egotistical, but sometimes because we really need that self-affirmation, and accept that, hey, we do good things at times. Do something new would be nice. Novelty offline, preferably. So you can go back and say, what were the things I've always wanted to do but never done? Perhaps I can take a look at them now and try to do them. So I think some of the people out there took up knitting or crocheting, which they've never done before, and they actually enjoyed it. Develop your deep spirituality definitely helps. Okay. And be grateful of little things daily. They say nga, at the end of each day, think of 3 things you're thankful for. And it doesn't have to be big things. Even just being able to stay home, and you can be thankful for that. Or you went outside and there was no traffic, you can be thankful for that as well. Brighten your surroundings, declutter. And you can see actually with your eyes, para bang pag peaceful or neat yung surroundings mo, there is also a sense of calm that you feel within you. And then continue to build your deep and meaningful relationships. Connect with nature. like I said, nagkaroon tayo ng mga plantito-plantita. People are now going to the beaches or going up the mountains or the parks because that really, really helps. And if you want, you can help others as well in your own small way, be it with the ambulant vendors outside, selling taho, or there's some centers there that need volunteers. And if you also think that, hey, I'm doing so much and I think I need help, then do ask for help, be it with your friends or even to professionals, be it with personal problems or in your professional life as well. To end this, I'd like to emphasize the importance of self-compassion. Compassion means it's to be able to be sensitive to the suffering of others and oneself and to try to prevent it or alleviate it. And I'd like to show this song because ang tawag dito, the lyrics go something like this. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. And then may you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. And then it goes, may we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be happy. So this is by Karen Drucker.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease, and may you be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease, and may we be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. And I am happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. I am happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease, and I am happy. I am happy. I am happy.
So, maraming salamat po. Ginhawa
Yeah.
nawa.
Thank you, Dr. Sandra. I think after this, it's time for us to ask some questions. Some may not be from the lecture itself, but who is our first volunteer for the first question? Meron bang volunteer? For 500 pesos. Madali lang ang sagot.
Tanggalin ko na yung spotlight, ha?
Okay, any volunteer, raise your hand or turn on your video, please. Okay. Okay, raise your hand. Okay. What color is the ribbon for mental health awareness? Who can answer that question? What color is the ribbon for mental health awareness? Raise your hand. Yeah? Ernie? Can you unmute yourself? Are you raising your hand or fixing your camera? Ernie?
May Mary Ann McCoy who also raised her
Marianne,
hand.
Marianne, okay, Marianne. Can you speak up, unmute? Can you unmute Marianne?
Yeah, green.
All right, for 500, but please jot down the winner. We will give it to you through GCash. Okay, Marianne, our first winner. Yes. Okay, next question. Congratulations. Okay, ang next question. What exercise did we do at the start of the talk? One which you can do every day. Okay, who wants to answer for 500 pesos? Yet, would you like to answer that?
That's
Yet?
Tony.
Breathing.
Yes, 500 pesos for Yet, okay? GCash na 500. All right.
Nag-raise din ng hand si Tony at saka si Vange. Okay, next time.
Okay, sila sa third. Sino yung una nag-raise na? Si Tony? Tony? Okay.
Feb, sabay
This-
sila.
Sige, magkasunod sila. Gagawin kong 4 yung question. Sige. Okay. Number 3. What did the song at the end of the talk emphasize? Tony, ikaw muna. Do you know the answer?
I think Ernesto.
Ernie? Oh, Joyce Baclit. Okay.
Loving kindness.
Is that acceptable, doctor?
Pwede na rin, yeah.
Actually, okay, that's
Yeah,
loving kindness, but it's also
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll ask
Yeah.
Ernie. I think
Ernie, do you want to try?
unmute.
Do you want to try, Ernie? Oh, please unmute yourself. Ernie, please unmute yourself. unmute. Allow to.
You didn't allow me to unmute.
Okay, there. Okay, now you unmute. Because if we allow you, you have to unmute yourself. No, kasi sabi ko nga, we cannot do it. Okay, what is the answer? What did the song at the end of the talk emphasize? Huh?
Self-compassion.
All right, that's the correct word, no? Okay. Yung mga naka-raise ang hand, paki-unraise, no? Kasi hindi mawawala. Okay, Marianne is done. Sorry, Marianne. Efren, I'll call you on the next question, but after the talk of Dr. Jake, okay? Baka naka-jot down ba, Secretariat, yung 500 pesos na, no? Baka mamaya, ma-DTI tayo dito, ha? Okay, ha? Hindi
Yes.
tayo,
Oo,
okay,
yeah.
ha? Subong tayo sa BOT niyan, ha? Yung mga yan, ha? Sige, okay. Now, before we move on to the next speaker, I would like to introduce the lady behind this webinar, who's very active, in our association, who takes care of poor leukemic children. No, I think I'm not sure she's a hematologist or oncologist, but she reminds me a little bit like Mother Teresa. She's that kind, no? So I'd like to call on Dr. Liza Narano to say a few words. Can you do the spotlight on Dr. Liza? Oh, she's in the hospital.
Yeah. Hi, Mila. Sorry, I was able to catch parts of Sandy. Sandy is one of the people I know from our work in palliative care. So if for those who are not as familiar with palliative care, it's one kind of support, added support to patients with chronic illness as you try to cope and understand your illness. And of course, Mila here have been our close partners with the Leukemic Indigents Fund Endowment, which was founded in 1995. Because back then, there was no real chance for any child with leukemia to sustain their treatments because it was very costly for the 3 years. And it was parang the economics really played a part. And that's why it was led by parents and patients and our founder in the Leukemic Indigent Fund Endowment, the late Dr. Caviles, who made an adoption program. Even before PhilHealth made the additional support for cancer, it was really patients or private groups who led support for such kinds of initiatives to give children with leukemia a chance of cure. And since that program started, it has made a big impact, especially in children who come from poor families who didn't really have a chance back then, but because of the Life Foundation, was able to battle leukemia and survive it. And of course, Jake here, you will also encounter I'm proud to say, is one of our graduate at St. Luke's College of Medicine and is one of our dynamic, young, upcoming physicians who is really geared in innovating medical education, and he's really fond of engaging with communities as a family med practitioner. So I'm really happy for everyone to have these kinds of webinars, and we're really excited to look forward in parang engaging with more topics that we find would be most relevant to you at this point in your life. At this
We will
point
have
of
it
your
next year, definitely. We will have more.
And
Yeah.
of course, we may want to introduce some ideas, but we look forward to hearing from you what really concerns you. But I think this is a great start,
Mhm.
giving importance to the body as well as the mind. And
Yeah.
I congratulate the organizers of this session. And we look forward to more learnings from each and everyone because we are all learning in this process. Thank you,
Thank you.
Mila.
Thank you, Doctora. As a backgrounder, I'd like a trivia. The person who did the acronym, who made the acronym for life is Doctora. Correct me if I'm wrong. No, it's it's George Canseco, the composer. He did the acronym for life, Leukemic Indigents Fund Endowment, because I think he had a relative who died of leukemia, the late George Canseco, and he was very active when he was alive. No, so it's a way to help children, save lives, give them more birthdays. Baka meron kayong mga kakilalang gustong mag-sponsor. It's 700,000 for 3 years, no? Yung program. I cannot promote it here, but I'm just mentioning because Dr. Lisa is there. We feel so much for these children, no? Okay. Pero reminder, we will be flashing in the chat room a survey form from Dr. Lisa so that we will know your concerns and the future subjects that we will cover in our next webinars next year. Of course, this will be a continuing discussion series for the good of retirees and members. We want to always keep you, updated. All right. Thank you very much. Now I call on our next. I have introduced you, Dr. Jake, so I will not repeat it. I welcome Dr. Jake Brian Cortez, family medicine doctor. No? Thank you.
Hi, Miss Mila. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank Miss Mila and of course Dr. Elisa for inviting me for this wonderful event. I'm really so happy that we do have these kinds of events. It's very rare for me to see people of age such as you, but of course still very sharp and can still navigate through Zoom. So I'm really, really happy because that is an accomplishment in its own. I mean, even before the pandemic, such kinds of technologies to be able to facilitate meetings is very unthinkable. But now it's like part of our new normal. So I'm really, really happy. So before we start, I just would like to reintroduce myself. I'm Dr. Jake Brian Cortez. I'm one of Dr. Elisa's students before at St. Luke's. She was and still is my mentor. So thank you so much, Dr. Elisa, for this opportunity. So at this point, I'll be sharing my slide. And Everything okay on your end, Miss Mila? It's
We can see your slide, doctor. It's okay. Yeah, good, good. You have a colorful slide.
okay, yeah. Very
Christmas
colorful
na
para po.
Christmas.
Yes, yes. Actually, that was intentional. COVID-19 no has been a very depressing topic for the most part. But I think tulad po ng sinabi ni Sandra kanina no, this is the time that we actually celebrate and go back to our routines. So, um when I was developing this small talk, I first entitled this talk The 10 Commandments for a COVID-Free Holiday para swak po sa paparating na Christmas as well as New Year. However, I was so inspired by Dr. Sandra's message wherein she mentioned one of her friends' advice. Is COVID-19 or this times that we have at the moment, is this a transition back to our previous normal, or is this really a transformation? And with that, I have renamed my title, diba? As inspired by Dr. Sandra. I am renaming this presentation to the 10 Commandments for a Better Normal. Because the reality is, there's really no going back. We won't be going back to what we had in the past. Our work has changed. Our family life has changed. The way we study, the way we connect has changed. Tulad po ngayon, we are connecting via Zoom. And I think this is a testament that we are indeed moving forward. And what may have seemed to be a depressing change in the past, I think is something that gave us inspiration, no? That we can actually do more innovation moving forward and as we adapt to the pandemic. Okay, so these 10 commandments are actually 10 health tips that I would like to emphasize for everyone because it seems that we are somehow getting more lax, no? Some of us are actually denying that there's even a pandemic still, but we'll talk about that later. But at the moment, before we even discuss the 10 commandments, I'd like to highlight three important points about COVID-19. I think Dr. Alessandra gave us a very good introduction or review or revisit of what the COVID-19 pandemic is. But let me highlight to you three important things that I hope you keep in mind as we move forward with this pandemic. Number one, COVID-19, it's a flu-like illness. So what do I mean by that? What do I would like to convey? The first one is that COVID-19 is a virus. Okay, it's a viral infection and it's real. Okay, and with that, I hope we can already answer the myth that antibiotics do work for COVID-19. No, when the COVID-19 was starting, there were a lot of potential treatments and one of which was an antibiotic. And of course, marami din po tayong mga fake news wherein stating that antibiotics do work against COVID-19. But let me remind everyone and reaffirm that COVID-19 is a viral infection. And for such infections, antivirals is the way to go. Okay, so if meron man po na gustong mag-self-medicate with antibiotics, I really highly discourage that practice because that is not effective and at the same time, it might actually cause potential problems for you and your family in the future. Okay, number two, it's a flu-like illness. So what do I mean by that? Ayun po kasi na medyo 2 years na po tayo into the pandemic, medyo we're feeling lax. And now that we are in the holiday season at medyo lumalamig na po ang panahon natin, allergies come up, no? Marami pong nagkakatrangkaso. Just yesterday, one of my titas, no, actually consulted me and told me na, Jake, ano bang gamot sa pharyngitis? Sabi ko, wow, meron na kaagad na diagnosis, no? It's understandable, no? Na as we go back to our routines, no, we're getting a hold of what our body is feeling. And sometimes we feel reassured na trangkaso lang yan or sinisipon lang ako or it's just my allergies. But this is my reminder to you. We acknowledge that these symptoms, they do overlap, no? especially with the COVID-19 virus. And what I would like to highlight here is that wag po tayong papakampante. So let's differentiate. Bakit po dapat hindi tayo magpakakampante? As you can see here, we have different symptoms listed such as sore throat, cough, sneezing, fever, body aches, tiredness, headache, runny nose, shortness of breath, and even loss of taste or smell. And what we can observe here is that there are overlaps pagdating po sa symptoms. Even for a doctor, such as me and Dr. Elisa, it's very difficult for us to differentiate as to whether or not are these symptoms COVID-19? Is it just a simple cold or allergy, or is this a simple trangkaso? So masyado po maraming overlaps, no? Wag po tayong masyadong magpapakakampante. Doc, meron pa naman akong panlasa, meron pa naman po akong pang-amoy. Well, the bad news is, as more variants are coming up with COVID-19, unfortunately, the loss of taste or smell, one of the most defining feature in the past, is already losing its popularity, I would say. From personal experience po, and unfortunately, because of the nature of my work, nagkaroon na po ako ng multiple COVID-19 infections. And comparing my first one to the next ones, no? When I first had COVID-19, and I think the predominant variant back then was Alpha, no? Talaga pong trangkaso, lagnat, mabigat sa katawan, hirap huminga because I'm an asthmatic as well, and wala po talaga akong panlasa at pang-amoy. But ito pong bago ko pong infection ng COVID-19, and I think this is the newer variants already, meron po akong pang-amoy, meron po akong panlasa. It's just simple sore throat. So ako po, to tell you honestly, nagpakakampante po ako. Pero buti na lang, my loved one actually encouraged me to do testing. Kasi hindi po ako gumagaling dun sa usual ko na gamot. And true enough, I was wrong. No? Me as a medical practitioner, I was wrong na ito pala ay isang COVID-19 infection already. And it's really very difficult for me to differentiate it with other illnesses. So the best thing that we can do is actually seek help from our primary care doctor and actually submit ourselves for testing if needed. Okay, so that's my first message. Huwag po tayong papakampante. Ang COVID-19 po talaga will overlap with other diseases. Pagdating po sa symptoms, kaya huwag pong papakampante, pa-check up po kaagad para matulungan po kayo ng doktor po ninyo. Now, why am I emphasizing that we need to be sure that it's really COVID-19 or not? And bakit po sinasabi ko sa inyo na magpakonsulta po kaagad sa doktor ninyo? It's because of my second message, wherein older adults are at high risk for COVID-19. What do we mean by that? So we have a very busy diagram here. I really apologize. This is the simplest diagram that I can see. I can find on the internet. But let me guide you through it. Basically, I'd like you to notice na when you are younger, ibig sabihin po less than 50 years old, as you can see here, the presentation of COVID-19 is usually asymptomatic or for the most part, very mild lang po talaga. Okay, but it's a different story kapag po medyo older adults na po tayo, pag more than 60 years old. You are more likely to develop severe symptoms such as difficulty of breathing, baka po ma-ICU. Tulad po ng sinubmit na question ng one of our participants, there is a potential for what we call the cytokine storm or yung mga hyperinflammation in the body. So basically, the message here is that wag po tayong pagpakakampante because as we get older, and more especially kapag po meron tayong ibang sakit such as hypertension, diabetes, any immunocompromising condition, mas lalo po tayong hindi dapat magpakakampante because we are the people, including myself who is an asthmatic, na pwede pong kapitan at mag-develop ng severe COVID-19 infection. And I guess everybody will agree we wouldn't want that. No, we wouldn't want that. And at the same time, evidence are already showing as well na it is these individuals, especially when you do not have the necessary protection, who develop what we now call long COVID-19. O di ba double whammy? As we get older, kapag po meron tayong ibang sakit such as hypertension, diabetes, and asthma, you're not only at risk for severe COVID-19 infection, you are also at risk for long COVID-19. Okay? And that brings me actually to my next message. My third message is that the COVID-19 pandemic is not yet over, at least officially. Okay? It's not officially the end of the pandemic yet. Why? For several reasons. The first one would be yung kanina pa po natin pinag-uusapan, there are still emerging variants of COVID-19. The most recent would be Omicron. And as you can see here, the first record was November 2021, but up until now, we do have emerging variants. Ano pong ibig sabihin nun? What are the implications of that? It means that it might present differently. It might be more transmissible. Our current treatment may or may not work. Our current protection may or may not work. But bago po tayo magpanic, no? I just would like to reassure everyone that as of today, I visited the website of WHO. The message is very clear. Even though these variants are still emerging, they are continuously emerging, the fact remains that the current protection that we have and what we will be discussing later as the 10 commandments still prove to be effective. So it's still effective as protective measures against the different variants of COVID-19. What else? Let's visit now the long COVID-19 infection. And I think this is something that we all share as a concern, no? Because hindi po pala natatapos ang COVID-19 infection in just 1 to 2 weeks. Yes, unfortunately, now we are seeing that some patients still have or they develop COVID-19 related symptoms even after a month, no, of having the COVID-19 infection. And the bad part or the unfortunate news is that sometimes prolonged po yung mga symptoms na to. And there are very, very rare cases wherein up until now, no, ilang months na po, mag-years na, meron pa rin po silang symptoms. So what are the symptoms that we can watch out for, no? Number one would be brain fog. Ano po ibig sabihin nun? Sometimes, it's very difficult for us to think clearly, unlike when we were not yet infected by the virus. Other people will have dyspnea or what we call difficulty of breathing and cough, persistent po. Some of which meron po mag-develop ng rash. Yung iba naman po, no, fatigue, palagi pong pagod, mabigat yung katawan, masakit yung katawan. Yung iba naman po, nagpapalpitate po sila or kumakabog po yung dibdib. And tulad po ng sinabi ni Dr. Sandra, and I'm very happy that she raised ways on how to prevent it. But some of our patients, they do develop long-term depression and even post-traumatic stress disorder. So these are some of the common manifestations of COVID-19. But again, wag po tayong magpanic because again, we can always protect ourselves from being infected by COVID-19. Okay? And at the same time, it doesn't mean na naapektuhan po tayo or na-infect tayo ng COVID-19. Automatic may long COVID-19 po tayo. Okay? The message is clear. Should you develop any of these symptoms or you are concerned that you might be developing long COVID-19, always seek your doctor's help. Okay, para po magawan po natin ng necessary test and mag-guide po namin kayo on what you can do. Okay? And then, another thing, and the last thing na I would like to emphasize here, highlighting the message that the COVID-19 pandemic is not yet over. In our minds kasi, when we say the COVID-19 pandemic, what we are referring to was the very unfortunate time wherein palagi po nasa news, ilan yung bagong infection ng COVID-19, unfortunately, who passed away, meron pa po bang hospital, may ICU pa ba, may gamot pa ba? No? That's the initial phase of the COVID-19 pandemic. Unfortunately, we are now in the third and in the fourth wave of the pandemic, wherein you can see here na yes, we focused our attention in controlling the COVID-19 pandemic. But in doing so, medyo napabayaan din po natin yung ibang mga kondisyon natin that also require our attention. I'm very happy na banggit ni Dr. Sandra. Most of us here, and I hope, nakapag-resume na po kayo ng contact with your primary care doctor para po maibalik natin yung routine check-ups ninyo because we need to have you monitored pa din. And then, of course, mental health is a very important issue at the moment. No, I won't discuss the details of this mental health issue, but I can actually personally relate to it. It was a very challenging time for me. I think for all of us naman po. And I think maganda po yung message ni Dr. Sandra, no? And I'm really thankful for her highlighting the message na we should recognize, we should acknowledge, no, these feelings, because it is only through acknowledging these feelings can we provide solutions, no, and make a workaround these problems. Okay, so again, the message would be COVID-19 is a flu-like illness. Number two, COVID-19 po, older adults are at higher risk for COVID-19. And then lastly, the COVID-19 pandemic is not yet over. So those are my three messages. So keeping those things in mind, what are the things that we can do to prevent us from having COVID-19 infection, diba? The saying still remains true. Prevention is very much better than cure. So I do have 10 commandments for you na I hope you can continue to observe even during the holidays. No? It's okay that we have fun during the holidays, pero tulad ng paalala ko po sa mga patients ko, always in moderation, and let's always observe the right precautions. So my first commandment is still continue observing physical distancing. What do we mean by physical distancing? I want you to avoid the 3 C's: crowded places, close contact, as well as confined spaces. No? Tulad nga po ng sinabi ng mga students ko, kung hindi naman po kailangan lumabas, mas mabuti na po na wag na po tayong lumabas pansamantala. And I am emphasizing this message because even though we would like you, no, to go outside, exercise, reconnect with loved ones, travel, no, I would like still you guys to err on the side of caution because the COVID-19 virus is still there, especially during crowded places, no? Ako po, I recently visited the mall. I myself, natakot po ako. Sabi ko, ang dami palang tao sa mall. Even though napakasayang maglibot-libot ulit, I can't help but feel worried na ang dami pong tao, and some of which hindi pa maayos ang pagsuot ng mask. Pag-usapan natin yung mask later, okay? So my message is, kung hindi naman po kailangan lumabas, wag na lang po muna tayo lumabas. But if kung lalabas po tayo, meron po akong mga tips para mabawasan po natin yung risk. So which brings me to avoid po natin yung close contact, and of course, avoid being in confined places. No? This brings me po to my second point. No? If ever po lalabas po tayo, please stay in open spaces as much as possible. Wrong spelling pa. So please stay in open spaces. So ano pong ibig sabihin po nun? So let's focus our attention po on this diagram. As you can see here, in a closed space wherein ventilation is very poor, ibig sabihin nakasarado po yung mga bintana. Wala pong fans, walang exhaust fans, wala rin pong mga portable air cleaner. Makikita po natin, no, the viral particles or the virus lingers in the air. Nandiyan lang po siya. As opposed to a setting wherein there is good ventilation, makikita po natin nag-clear up po yung virus. Why? Because these viral particles are in the air, and if we promote good air exchange, lumalabas po yung bad air along with the virus, napapalitan po siya ng good air. So what are the measures that we can do to improve ventilation in our spaces. Number one, open your windows. So kung kunyari po, pupunta po kayo sa isang lugar, as much as possible, nakabukas po yung bintana. In our college or in our offices, although some would argue gastos sa kuryente, kahit po naka-aircon po tayo, nakabukas pa rin po as much as possible yung bintana. Pwede rin po meron tayong ceiling fan or exhaust fan, and I believe available po yun sa mga offices natin. If wala naman po, we can always have a portable air cleaner such as yung mga HEPA filters po natin. Okay? Pero if for example, lalabas po tayo, kakain po tayo kasama mga amiga po natin or mga brad po natin, as much as possible kung maaari, doon po tayo sa alfresco. Doon po tayo sa restaurant wherein meron po silang open space para at least kahit po we are gathering, there is good air exchange and that will actually decrease the risk of us contracting the COVID-19 virus. Now, my commandment number 3, please always practice frequent hand hygiene. What do we mean by hand hygiene? For the most part, we do have 2 options. We can either wash our hands or we can actually use a hand rub. Now, some of us, and this is something that I would like to emphasize, very convenient po kasi yung mga hand rubs, mga alcohol, alcohol, kaya minsan di ba nagkakaubusan na po before. So gamit po tayo ng alcohol, lalo na po pag nasa labas po tayo, and that is good practice. However, what we fail to do is that dahil po knowing na nakapag-alcohol na naman tayo, supposedly namatay na yung virus, pag uwi natin sa bahay, tapos na. But let me remind you, hindi po nagtatapos sa paglalagay ng alcohol ang hand hygiene. Ang paglalagay po ng alcohol is only a temporary measure in case po wala tayong access to a hand washing facility or a sink. Ang maganda pong gawin po natin is after po natin mag-apply ng alcohol sa labas at pag-uwi po sa bahay, at least maghugas po tayo mabuti ng kamay. And regular soap and water will do. Okay, so wag na wag po natin kakalimutan yan. Between hand rub and hand washing, pinaka-effective and pinaka-important pa rin po will be hand washing. And of course, wag pong kakalimutan, kahit po nasa labas, nag-alcohol na po tayo. Pag uwi sa bahay, before po natin hawakan yung mga gamit natin sa bahay, please wash your hands or if you want, take a bath. Okay? Ganun pa din po. Number 4, wear a mask. So, nabanggit po kanina na yes, it's true that at the moment, wearing of face mask is already voluntary and it's already optional. However, meron pong caveat po yung announcement po na yun. Kapag po kunyari, you are visiting a healthcare setting such as visiting your doctor or to a hospital, or you belong po to the high-risk group. Ibig sabihin, older adults. People po na merong sakit tulad ng hypertension, diabetes, and asthma. Wearing a mask is highly encouraged. In fact, kapag po sa healthcare facility, it is still required. So kailangan pa rin pong magsuot ng face mask. And I advise that you continue wearing your face mask. Lahat po na nandito ngayon sa audience po natin. Okay? Now, let's review. Paano po ba magsuot at paano po ba magtanggal ng face mask? O di ba may pa-demonstration pa po tayo dito para compromise. So this is po a regular face mask. This is a regular surgical face mask. And this will actually serve our purposes already. So how do we wear it? So pag sinusuot po natin yan, and this is clean, so ilalapat po natin yan sa mukha po natin, making sure na covered po yung ilong at yung bibig. Ladies and gentlemen, kailangan po covered pareho ang ilong at bibig. Kaya po pag nakakakita ko minsan sa labas, nandito lang po yung mask sa bibig, or at worst, nandito lang po sa ilong. Ang pangit, di ba? Maliban po sa pangit na po siya, you're actually just fooling yourself. You're not making optimal use of your mask. So paglapat po dito, lagay po natin yung ear loops, Pag nalagay po natin yung ear loops, make sure po again na covered yung ilong at yung bibig natin. And ang palagi pong nakakalimutan, meron po yung wire, no? May flexible wire po yan dito sa nose bridge. We should pinch that para po snug yung fit po ng mask po natin. Okay? So yan po ang pagsuot ng mask po natin. Ano po yung mga hindi dapat gawin kapag nakasuot na yung mask? And this is something na madalas ko pong nakikita and even me myself minsan nakakalimot. Anong ginagawa? Tatanggalin dito, iaangat dito, ilalagay dito, ilalagay ng ganyan. Minsan ilalagay pa sa pocket. Tandaan po natin that the dirtiest part of the face mask is the front. Kaya once na nakasuot na po yan, do not touch the front. Kung tatanggalin nyo po siya, tatanggalin nyo po siya sa ear loops po natin. Okay, I hope that's clear. So, which now brings me to the next step. Ano pong gagawin natin pag tinanggal na po natin yung face mask? Most face masks, and I do encourage that you still use disposable face mask. Bakit po? Because it's already dirty. You just need to throw it away. And after throwing it away, please make sure that you wash your hands because like I said, this is dirty. Now, in case po you're making use of a reusable face mask, at hindi po talaga may iwasan, ang prefer talaga natin or ang available lang po is reusable, make sure that you disinfect your face mask and always wash your hands and store your face mask po in a small paper bag para hindi po siya nagkakalat po ng virus or any dirt, no, sa surroundings po niya. Okay? I hope that's helpful. So again, wag po nating itatouch yung harap and always make sure na covered po both the nose at saka po yung mouth natin. Now, the fifth. What's the fifth commandment? And some of you will argue, might argue about this, no? Pero the fifth commandment is protect yourself. Vaccinate. Okay? Vaccination, our vaccines, all approved COVID-19 vaccines are already proven safe and effective. Paano po yan naging safe? Nung nagpa-bakuna nga po ako, 3 ng kaso po ako. Side effect po yon. So let's address that issue. The reason po kung bakit po kayo nagkaroon ng flu-like symptoms such as fever and body pains after you were vaccinated is not because the vaccine is unsafe. It's because your body is actually mounting or developing its immunity against the COVID-19 virus. And that's exactly what we want. We vaccinate ourselves so that we can have or develop the immunity against the COVID-19 virus. And developing that immunity, kasama po doon would be, in some people, developing fever and body pains. But, and data will show us na in a matter of less than 24 hours, basta iinom lang po ng tamang gamot at magpapahinga, mawawala din po yon. I'm sure I'm talking to the crowd po na hindi naman po sila new to the concept of vaccination. I'm sure some of you might have already availed of the annual flu vaccine or the pneumococcal or pneumonia vaccine. And in the same way, some people, they do develop reaction. Ganun din po yung mga COVID-19 vaccines natin. Now, let's bring in the second point. Is it effective? Are all brands effective? Yes, data will show us that all approved COVID-19 vaccines are effective. Bakit po may kakilala ako? Nagpabakuna po siya pero nagkaroon pa rin po siya ng COVID-19. Kinapitan pa rin po ng virus. Bakit po kaya? Ano po bang definition natin ng effective, no? We have defined effective as preventing ourselves from developing severe symptoms of COVID-19 as well as preventing ourselves from dying from COVID-19. No? Kaya for that friend na nag-develop po ng bakuna, dapat he or she should be thanking the vaccine Because the second time around na nagkaroon po siya ng COVID-19 vaccine, COVID-19 infection, chances are it's much milder, no? Mabilis po siyang nag-recover and wala na po tayong panic. Actually, kaya nga po tayo naglalax kasi po nakabakuna tayo. So on the flip side as well, let me re-emphasize what we mean by an effective vaccine in the context of COVID-19 is that we do not develop severe symptoms and we do not die from the COVID-19 virus. Okay? Pero you may still catch the virus. Kaya po for everyone, please protect yourselves following po itong 10 commandments po natin. I hope that's clear. Okay? Ngayon, which brings me to my other point. Are boosters necessary? Okay? Are boosters necessary? Yes. For the older population, especially those din po na merong ibang sakit, such as hypertension, diabetes, or asthma, to name a few, boosters are very, very important. Bakit po? Because the current vaccines that we have at the moment, unfortunately, bumababa din po yung level of immunity. Kaya important po magpa-booster. Booster ng booster, kailan ba matatapos yan? Unfortunately, I don't have an answer for you. But what I can reassure you is that we are now developing more effective and longer lasting vaccines. No? Let us acknowledge po no, na it's not easy to develop an effective and a long-term vaccine. No? Before the pandemic po, we developed vaccines in a matter of 10 years or more. And yet we were able to develop COVID-19 vaccines in what? Less than a year? 1 to 2 years? So I think that is an achievement, but also we should be cognizant of the limitations and the implications. So again, what I can reassure you is that these new vaccines are here to protect you still. No, even more effective than the previous ones. Okay, so if meron pong effective, lalo na po free ang vaccination sa community, please do avail of them as well. Okay? Now, what's my sixth commandment? My sixth commandment, and tulad po ng sinabi ni Dr. Sandra, please bisitahin nyo naman po kami ulit. No? Yes, we were cooked in our homes for a very, very long time and meron pa rin pong pangamba paglalabas. But please, visit your doctor din po, either face-to-face or if you're still worried na lumabas, pwede na po ang telemedicine. Okay? So please visit your doctor. Bakit po? Okay. When do you visit your doctor? So, tandaan po natin, na tulad ng sinabi ko po kanina, we are high risk, no? We are high risk po for COVID-19. So at the first signs of flu-like symptoms, tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, sore throat, fever, kahit simpleng sipon lang po yan or masakit ng katawan, please, just to be sure, connect with your doctor so that your doctor can guide you. Huwag na po nating hintayin na mag-develop pa po tayo nitong mga red flag na symptoms natin, such as difficulty of breathing, chest pain, dizziness. At this point, telemedicine will not help you. The clinics cannot help you. You need to go to the emergency room. Okay, so the message is clear. Huwag na po nating hintayin na magkaroon ng complications. At the first instance na meron po kayong naramdaman, please visit your doctor. Okay? So that's COVID-19. But of course, like I said po kanina, I also developed po this presentation being cognizant po that the holidays are coming. So ako po, what I always suggest to my patients is that magpa-laboratory po tayo either before or after the holidays. Before the holidays, para sure po tayo na pwede ba akong kumain or pwede ba akong humataw sa holidays, which I still don't recommend. Or pwede rin po magpa-laboratory tayo and visit your doctor right after the holidays para makita natin, tumaas po ba yung cholesterol ko, blood sugar, uric acid. And then let us help you. No? Pero as much as possible, please always be in moderation. But it's good to have those laboratory tests and it's good that you visit your doctor before and after the holidays so you are still well informed about your health status. Now, number 7, and this is one of the things na very in demand, no, or recurring concern in the surveys that we gave out po to you. Number 7 is that we should be choosing nutritious foods and drinks. So what do we mean by nutritious foods and drinks? So these are the advice po, no? The major highlights of the WHO recommendation. Number 1, reduce po yung sugars. So saan po ba natin nakukuha yung sugars? Ay, Doc, nakukuha yan sa soft drink, sa dessert, no? Mga juices, mga soda. Yes, those are sources of very high sugar, but also let us remind ourselves, no? That tayo bilang Pilipino, dahil mahilig po tayo sa kanin, ang kanin po is also a form of sugar. Ang pansit po is also a form of sugar, no? Ang spaghetti po is also a form of sugar. So wag po natin and even yung bread. Bread is also a form of sugar. So the reminder here is that kapag meron po tayong salo-salo, choose your sugar and always consume your sugars in moderation po. So ibig sabihin, pag nagkanin na po tayo, wag na po nating iulam yung pansit or yung spaghetti. Okay, PD lang po tayo. If for example, nag-bread na po tayo, baka po you might want to think twice if gusto nyo pa pong kumuha ng puto o kaya po ng cake. Okay? Number 2, eat a variety of food, most especially fruits and vegetables. Okay, so I think this doesn't need any further explanation dahil I'm sure and I hope masipag na po tayong kumain ng gulay, no? But some of you will tell me na, ay naku Doc, favorite ko ang fruits. Kumakain po ako ng 5 piling ng mangga, sobrang dami pong grapes, no? At may mga avocado pa. These fruits are healthy when consumed in moderation. So as with anything else, always consume these things in moderation. If nag-fruits na po kayo as your dessert, wag na po tayong mag-dessert po ng kung ano pa pong matamis. Hindi lang po tayo. Okay? Number 3, cut back on your salt, no? Ito po yung mahirap pong tansyahin po talaga, no? Nakalagay po dito, limit salt intake to less than 5 grams a day. But to tell you honestly, I tried asking my yaya to do this. For me, it's very bland. It's very bland. So ano na lang po yung maganda pong paalala para hindi po tayo nagme-measure. Tandaan nyo po, tayo po mga Pilipino, ang mga pagkain natin masaras na po talaga. And sometimes, kapag kunyari fried or nilaga, mahilig pa tayong merong sausawan tulad po ng patis, meron pa pong toyo, meron pa po minsang ketchup, barbecue sauce, mayonnaise. Please be aware that these are sources of salt as well. Okay, hindi lang po basta asin na pampaalat or Ajinomoto or broth cubes. Ito pong mga bagay na to na hindi natin pinapansin. The salad dressings, no? The ketchup, the barbecue sauce. These are also sources of salt. Okay? Number 4, eat moderate amounts of fats and oils. So makita po ninyo rito, ang maganda pong sources ng fats would be, of course, mga fatty fish. And of course, avocado din po. But again, as with anything else, always consume in moderation. These are good sources of good fats. But anything that is excessive, no, is also bad for us. Stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water. Old adage na po, always at least 8 glasses of water a day. But if you can consume more, lalo na po, we should be aware that we live in a tropical country. If you can consume more than 2 liters a day, much, much better. But of course, it depends po ha. If ever po meron sa inyo na meron pong heart disease or kidney disease, always consult din po your doctor as to how many liters of water you can consume in a day. And of course, lastly, avoid drinking alcohol. Keep it at a minimum. Ang magandang measure po natin is that in a day, for women, 1 serving. And then for men, 2 pong serving. So sa mga aangal po, hindi po akong gumawa ng recommendations po na yon. So women, I'm really sorry, 1 serving lang daw po for you in a day. And let me highlight, it's in a day. So hindi po ibig sabihin, kunyari, ay Doc, for the past 29 days this month, hindi ako uminom. So ibig sabihin nun, ngayong katapusan, pwede akong more than 30 bottles, no, in a day. Kasi po, ano yun, hindi ko naman na-consume before. Hindi po pwede yun, ha? No to binge drinking. Ibig sabihin, kapag lumipas na po yung araw, expired na po, no? Expired na po yung lisensya natin to drink alcohol. Okay? So I hope that's clear po. To summarize po, pagdating po dito sa foods and drinks, palagi nyo pong tandaan yung 3 M na pinagbabawal ko po sa mga pasyente ko. Iwasan po natin yung maaalat, iwasan po yung matatamis, at saka iwasan po natin yung matatabang pagkain. Mas simple pa pong reminder, as much as possible, please eat home-cooked meals. Meals that are cooked outside. Fast food, nasa grocery, chances are, mataas po yan sa sugar, salt, and fat. So please avoid. Okay? And before I leave this topic, let's also talk about multivitamins. No? So of course, sasabihin po natin, Doc, nabalitaan ko pag umiinom ng vitamin C and zinc, mas tumataas po yung immune system. So kailangan po ba natin or ano pong magandang multivitamins? What I can reassure everyone is that for as long as you have a varied diet, no, masusunod nyo po itong lahat, you actually don't need multivitamins. But of course, sometimes in our world today, that's very difficult po, no? That's very difficult po to follow. And at the same time din po, as we get older, hindi na rin po maganda po yung pagproseso natin ng foods in our bodies. So a general multivitamin would do. You do not need to overdose yourself with vitamin C with zinc unnecessarily. Not unless it's advised by your doctor, which is very rare. No? Ina-advise lang po namin yung mga matataas na doses ng vitamins when you have a documented micronutrient deficiency. But otherwise, a general multivitamin would be more than enough. Okay? Number 8, exercise regularly. Sabi ni Dr. Sandra, lalabas po tayo to exercise. Tama po yun. No? But do we need to go to the gym? Do we need to do treadmill? Do we need to always do Zumba? No? So each to his or her own po yun. Kung ano po ang kaya po natin. But as recommended po by the WHO, you can simply just walk up and down the stairs. You do some stretching exercises. You can dance to music for a few minutes. And you can actually seek more ideas online. Some of the classes are actually online already. No? And the word here, or the more appropriate word now, is not actually exercise anymore. It's just physical activity. So we now acknowledge po na hindi po talaga lahat makakapag-exercise, but at the very least, lahat po tayo is dapat nakakapag-physical activity every day. So gaano po kadalas, gaano po katagal, as frequent as possible, most days of the week, at least 30 minutes po a day. But again, depends po ha. Kapag kunyari po may heart condition na tayo, please consult your doctor po muna before you engage in any strenuous exercise. Okay? And with that, and I've been talking for so long already, let me share with you an exercise. No? Again, tulad po ng nabanggit ko, I'm really happy that you are here on Zoom. And with that, I would assume na mas techy na po tayo ngayon. And dahil mas techy na po tayo ngayon, sometimes, and as we grow old, mas sumasakit po yung mga kamay natin. Some of my patients will always ask me, Doc, ano bang pwedeng gamot sa pangingimay o kaya pamamanhid? Before tayo mag-usap ng gamutan, let's first practice exercise. So let me invite everyone to do a very simple exercise. You don't need to stand. You just need to follow me as I go through this exercise. So the first exercise is very easy, no? So for 10 seconds po, let's just shake our hands. So let's shake our hands po, no? Shake, shake, shake lang po tayo. Shake, shake, shake. And then after we do that shake, 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 we do what we call the spider flexion. So put your hands together, touching po the tips of your fingers, and then you place it upside down, and then you push, no, without letting them separate, okay? And then you just do this stretching po, no, for 10 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's continue. And actually what you're doing is that you're stretching po the tendon here or the strap of muscle or the strap of tissue here, no? Para po siya yung may rubber band sa wrist, no? And what we're doing is we're stretching that para ma-relieve po yung pressure doon sa ugat natin. And then of course, lastly po, let's stretch po our arms. And then let's stretch our palms outwards. And then stretch po natin pabalik using our other hand. And let's hold that position po for 10 seconds. Okay, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then on the other side din po. Okay, so what we're doing here is also stretching po the rubber band on our wrists, no? Para ma-release po yung pressure doon sa nerves po natin. Okay? So how frequent should you be doing this? Sabi po ng mga physical therapists po natin, as frequent as possible so that we do not develop what we call the carpal tunnel syndrome. Okay? So let's do this as much as we can. And I hope you can continue doing that as you continue with your digital journey. Okay? Sige. Number 9, we're nearing the end of our commandments. Number 9, have enough sleep. No? Gaano po ba karami ang sleep na kailangan? It actually depends, no? But for our age po, around 6 to 8 hours would be ideal. But of course, it really depends for each and every person. Actually, some experts will tell us that it's not really the length of sleep that's important. It's actually the quality, no? The quality of sleep that's even more important. And let me re-emphasize this, no? I do have patients, palagi na lang po sinasabi, Dok, ano bang gamot? Ano bang magandang pampatulog? So palaging gamot po kaagad ng takbuhan po natin. So this is my reminder to you. Before po tayo humingi ng gamot kay Doc, let's first check, maganda po ba ang sleep hygiene practices natin? Look around. Baka naman po kasi the reason why you don't have enough sleep is because maingay po sa paligid or very bright. No? Or baka po hindi kayo makatulog at katabi nyo ang iPad, matulog. Avoid po natin po yung very large meals bago po tayo matulog. Let's do the exercises, especially the stress reduction exercises shared to us by Dr. Sandra a while ago. And for those coffee lovers po, iwasan po natin na uminom po tayo ng kape sa gabi. Okay? And then of course, ang pinaka-importante po talaga sa lahat is that you establish a nighttime routine. You get up and you go to sleep the same time every day. Okay? It becomes your routine and your body will automatically adjust to this routine para you can sleep spontaneously and even wake spontaneously as well. Okay? But if all of these things do not work, no? Then that's the time that we ask kay Doc, baka naman po meron po tayong gamot na pwede nating inumin. Okay? Pero pag-usapan po natin yan, no? Mahirap din po kasi mag-prescribe outright. There are a lot of things then that we have to consider before we prescribe a medication to you. Lalo na po, nagkakaedad na rin po kasi tayo. Okay? And of course, the last reminder will be in relation to Dr. Sandra's talk a while ago. Always, and do not forget to practice self-care. So what you can see here is a self-care bingo card. You can probably create your own then. So whenever you feel stressed, overwhelmed, or sad, you can list the things that make you happy and then do them one by one every day. Para po you can remind yourself that the COVID-19, yes, the pandemic is still here, but you're also here as well, and you're doing much, much better than yesterday. You are alive, you are with your loved ones, and tomorrow is another day to be better and to be happier than yesterday. Okay, so with that, I'd like to review what are the 10 commandments. So number 1, observe physical distancing. Number 2, stay in open spaces. Number 3, practice frequent hand hygiene. Number 4, to wear a face mask still. Number 5, to protect yourself, vaccinate. Number 6, visit your doctor regularly. Number 7, choose nutritious foods and drinks. Number 8, exercise regularly. Number 9, have enough sleep. And lastly po is to practice self-care. But before I end, no, I know these are a lot, no. I'd like to share with you a project of our students that summarizes all of these COVID-19 preventive tips, no. And also, this is to the tune of a very popular holiday song. So I hope you enjoy.
Ang Pasko ay sumapit, pero meron pa rin COVID. Kaya para maiwasan, mag-ingat sundin ang guidelines. Lalo sa pagdiriwang, lolo't lola ay dadalaw. At ang bawat isa ay dapat na magmask at dumistansya. Isa tayo ay online muna. Shopee rin dapat wag divisorya. Bago kumain kamay ay tikasan, hindi magkahawaan. Tayo ay magsiawit, face mask ay laging gamitin. Habang nagkakantahan, disinfect wag kalimutan. Kahit nagmamahalan, beso at yakap ay iwasan. At kahit di Pasko, ang pagtitipon nyo ay limitahan. Huwag lumabas kung hindi kailangan, upang ang COVID ay maiwasan. Tayo'y magsikap upang makamtan natin ang kaligtasan. Tayo'y magpapakuna at magtiwala sa siyensya. Bawat isang himugin, bata't matanda'y pag-ingatan. Magpa-booster kung kailangan, atin sundin ang vaccine guidelines. Ang pagmumay na ito, kahit hindi Pasko, ating tandaan. Ang pagmumay na ito, kahit hindi Pasko, ating tandaan. Ang pagmumay na ito, kahit hindi Pasko, ating tandaan.
Okay, and with that, I would like to end my talk. Tulad po ng sinabi ng students ko, sana po itong mga patnubay na to ay palagi po nating tandaan. Happy holidays, everyone. Back to you, Miss Mila.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Jake. Calling the attention of our participants, meron tayong survey form. If you cannot do it here, we will send it to you via email or group chat, sa Viber or Messenger. We request you to fill it up because I'll give it to Dr. Lisa Naranjo for a survey that we will do para alam namin paano namin magagawa ang future health talks natin. Okay, sana you cooperate. We will distribute the forms, but now to end our gathering, as I said, meron tayong questions, not really related to the talk, maybe it is, but it's 500 pesos for every correct answer, okay? Sino yung last na tatawagin ko? Si Efren ba yun? Was it Efren Ayo? Was he here? Yeah? Efren, are you there?
Okay po.
Okay, yeah, okay. Ito ha, sagutin mo to. For 500 pesos, I've had COVID-19 vaccine. I can already stop wearing a face mask and not observe social distancing since I can no longer catch the virus. True or false, Efren?
Of course, false.
Okay, 500 pesos. Okay. Sino susunod na sasagot ng magkano pa ba yung hindi pa natin napapamigay, Ani, ha? You watch it, because baka ma-over budget, okay? Next question. Who wants to answer the next question? This is easy. Okay. Easy, like a game lang. Who wants to answer? Anyone? Turn on your video naman para I can see you. Turn on your video, please. Please. It's like a social event that we're having. Come on. Come on, turn on your, sinong gustong sumagot? Please raise your hand. Flor, are you joining? Flor, did you raise your hand? No. Who wants to answer the next question? Okay, please. Can we call on somebody? Rexy. Rexy. Can you hear me, Rexy? Rexy? Rexy, can you hear me? Okay. Boosting my immune system with help. Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, Jessie Orbegoso pala, or Jessie Orbegoso. Secretariat, please help me. Jessie Orbegoso. Okay, next question. Boosting my immune system with healthy food, exercise, and multivitamins will prevent me from catching COVID-19. True or false?
True.
Boosting my immune system with healthy food, exercise, and multivitamins will prevent me from catching COVID-19. True or false? Dr. Jeg, anong answer dyan na tama?
Unfortunately, it's false pa din
It's
po.
false. Okay, sorry. Okay. Next question sa next contestant natin. Secretariat, please identify para we can finish on time, no? Next question. Who will take it? Next question, Secretariat. Si Mr. Orbegoso ba yun? Can you help me, please? Oh, Mr. Di po daw siya sumagot. Okay, Mr. Orbegoso, sabi niya false. Okay, winner si Mr. Orbegoso. All right, I saw it in the chat box. Can you on the chat box, Secretariat? Okay. And thank you, Mr. Orbegoso. Okay, next question. Please identify the next contestant. Next contestant, please. Secretary, let me choose, please. Unmute, no? Unmute.
What about Jean Beluan?
Okay, Jean Beluan. I survived COVID-19. Asan si Jean Beluan? Nasaan? Nandyan? Are you ready? Jean, can you hear me? Jean? Okay,
Jean.
another. Jean, can you unmute? Jean? Annie, choose another one, please.
Joel Coloso.
Joel, can you hear me? Would you like to answer the next question? Joel?
Joel Coloso.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm answering.
Andiyan na. Okay, Joel, eto na. I survived COVID-19 before, so I am now immune to the virus. True or false?
False.
Okay, correct. 500 pesos.
Thank you,
Okay,
ma'am.
ito. Alright, dito na tayo sa trivia na yung kinuha ko lang sa Google because, it's hard to get, many things from the lecture because it's really very, ang substance, no? Okay, left-handed people. Sino pwedeng sumagot next time? Sino to? Secretariat, Floor, Ruby. Alcantara. Okay. Okay. Left-handed people live on average 9 years longer than right-handed people. True or false?
False.
Correct. Okay. Correct si Au. All right. Good. Thank you. Palakpakan naman natin. 500 pesos yun. Okay. Bibigay namin through GCash. Next question. Okay. Sinong sasagot?
Josie.
Josie?
Josie Concepcion.
Josie, okay. Okay, Josie, you try out this one, no? Okay. When do you burn more calories? Sleeping or watching TV?
Watching TV.
What?
Watching TV daw.
I'm sorry, that is wrong. Okay. You burn more calories sleeping than watching TV. Okay. Next question. Sino pa? Please. Marami pa tayong pamimigay. Sandali lang. Kasi may budget kami.
Lenny Malangit.
Zeni Manlangit, okay. Laughing, Zeni, can you hear me? Please acknowledge. Zeni, can you hear me? Can you speak?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Laughing is good for the heart and can increase blood flow by 20%. True or false?
True.
Correct. Okay. Correct. Okay. Eto na, yung isa ito,
Melchitan.
ginawa ko sa lecture ni Dr. Sandra to, ha? Sinong next answer?
Melchitan.
Si ano, Miss Banji.
Melchi. Okay,
Banji.
Banji
Banji
Persia?
daw.
Banji?
Si Banji
Persia.
Tan daw. Ay, si Banji Persia. Naka-raise
Persia.
daw.
Okay. Banji, okay, are you ready, Banji? Ready na, ha? Okay. Aside from food diet, what other diet can help your mental health? Aside from food diet, what kind of diet can help you have a good mental health?
Drinks din, mag-diet din sa drinks. And also, sa yung sinabi kanina 3 fats, yun ba yun? Bawas sa alat, bawas sa tamis, at bawas sa taba.
Sorry, I don't know. It's I said aside from food diet. This is something that we got from Dr. Sandra's lecture. Okay, hindi siya dun sa pangalawa. Dun sa unang nag-lecture si Dr. Sandra. Aside from food diet, nag-diet ka na ng food. What other things can you diet? Can you do a diet from?
Yun pong sa sleep, matulog ng maayos. Quality sleep.
No, sorry. Wrong answer. Anyone who wants to try, or else we'll give out the answer.
Nice.
Sirit na ba?
Internet.
Oh, who's that? Who said that? Who said internet? Who said internet?
Aida.
Aida, okay. Social media. To be precise, correct. Si Aida may 500 pesos. Okay.
Donate.
Okay, ito. It's trivia.
Donate daw yung kay Aida.
So donate mo? O sige, next person. Okay.
Melchitan. Si Melchi ba? Andiyan ba?
Melchi. Sabi mo sa akin pag sobra na ako ng tinanong, ha?
Oo.
Okay.
10 pa lang.
Okay. So, 20, tumimigay natin ngayon 10,000 pesos eh. Okay? Okay. Next contestant, yung hindi pa nakakasagot. Okay?
Si Melchitan, nandyan pa ba? Melchi.
Can you search her? Search mo yung what about Tony Garcia?
Yes, from
Tony?
Tabangaw yan. Si Tony.
Tony.
Good afternoon, Mamila.
Ito, tamang-tama, lalaki ka. Tatanungin kita, no? What is the fastest growing hair on the human body?
What?
What is the fastest growing hair on the human body? Hindi ito bastos, ha? Wholesome ito. Wholesome. Okay. Ha? Rico, saan ka ba may hair?
Head.
Nose.
On my nose. Maybe
One more try. I'll give you another chance. It's on the face. Okay? It's on the face. That's on the face. A man has it. A woman doesn't have it. A man has it. Huh?
Mustache.
Is my
Beard.
Mustache.
The beard. Yes, the
Beard,
beard.
yeah.
Yes, well, he won. Okay, Tony, good. Okay.
11
Okay,
na.
next question.
Thank
Next
you.
question. Okay, thank you, Dan. Thank you for participating. Who wants to participate? Sige. A few more
Rodrigo
questions.
Matias from Pililla.
Oh, ayan. Rodrigo, can you hear me? Rodrigo. Andyan ba? Paki-ano naman, Floor.
Andito pa siya eh.
Kaya nga, you calling him.
Rick Matias. Are you
Rick?
here? Wala
Get
yan.
another one. If it's
Yes.
not-
Sige, baka ayaw niya.
Okay, next.
Mirna Manalastas. Mirna.
Mirna. Okay. Mirna, Can you acknowledge? Mirna? Mirna? Can you answer, Mirna? Kasi we have to save on time, no? Oo. Mirna?
Yes, Neil.
Okay, this is your
Yes, si
question.
Mirna.
Kailangan sweet ako kasi sweet si Mirna. Okay. What is the fastest growing nail on your hand? What is the fastest growing nail on your hand? Is it the thumb? Is it the thumb or finger, middle? What?
Fingernails. All the nails in my hand.
No, there's
Fingernails.
only one fastest growing nail on your hand. Take a
The
guess.
thumb. The thumb.
Yes.
I'm sorry, that's wrong.
Ah, okay.
Okay, the answer is the middle finger.
The middle.
Ah,
Oh.
Okay, next question. Next question.
The dirty finger.
Yes, it is. But it's not a dirty joke. Okay. Next question. Next contestant.
Dr.
Lolit de
Liberato
Guzman.
Reyes, Cebu.
Ay, si Dr. Reyes. Ay, please turn on your video kayo kasi pwede naman kayong mag-turn on video so we can see you, no? Okay. Okay, Tito.
Si Tito.
This is for you because you are a professor. You will know this, no? The human brain is made up of fat. How many percent? Is it 50? Is it 60? Or 80%? Choose. Multiple choice. Multiple choice. Multiple choice. Just choose 50, 60, or 80.
60.
60
Who said
daw.
that? Tito, 60? Yes.
6-0.
Correct. Oh, okay. So note down the winner, ha? Okay. Eto, isa pa. Next question. Malapit na tayo. Next question. We have 1, 2, 3, mga 4 questions na lang, 5. Okay. Next question. Next contestant.
Ruth Pontamillas.
Ruth, can you see me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. Individuals have unique, sorry. Ito, teka, sandali. Meron akong question para sa iyo, Ruth. This is just for you, no? Everyone has a unique smell, okay? What about identical twins? Do they smell the same?
Yes.
Correct! Ang galing! Ang galit ni Ruth! Ang galing! Okay, winner! Oo, ha? Alright, next.
Parang mag-bubble this year.
Please turn on your, see, Zenny Manlangit, tapos na ba? Zenny, would you like to try for another question? Zenny?
Okay.
Oo, for fun lang. Oo. Individuals have unique tongue prints like fingerprints. Is this true or false?
true.
Correct. Oh, winner. All right. Okay, ito. How many times do you have to, the least number of times do you brush your teeth? The least, huh? The least. You know,
Twice. 2 times.
who said 2 times? Who said 2 times?
2 times.
Who said?
3 times.
Who said 2 times?
Yet.
Nanalo na si Yep.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, 2 times. Ayan.
Ay, nanalo na si Yep.
Kahit nanalo na, pwede.
okay lang.
Pwede. Okay, she
Okay,
knows the
sige.
answer. Okay. Okay, sandali na lang ha. Bear with me ha. O, kasi gusto ko, ilan pang question ako?
Naka-15 ka na.
Naka-15 na ako? Alright. Okay, next question.
Fidel Parco, controllers.
Fidel, ready? Fidel, please acknowledge. Please answer. Can you hear me? Pakitawag naman, Flor, kasi.
Fidel.
Yan na.
Naka-on ka ba?
Nakikita na si Fidel.
Alright, Fidel, turn
Dali
on.
lang yan, Fidel.
mic.
Ma'am, asan na ba?
Alright. Okay.
Ayan, si Fidel.
Next question, Fidel. Laughing 100 times is equivalent to 15 minutes of exercise on a stationary bike. True or false?
True.
True. Okay, 500 pesos.
Thank you.
Palakpakan naman natin kasi pakita naman kayo. Ba't ayaw nyo magpakita ngayon ng inyong video?
Nahihiya.
Oo. Ba't nahihiya? Oo. Ba't nahihiya? Okay, next question. Ilan pang question
Ami
ko?
isa is,
Give away 10,000 pesos today. Okay, what?
Ami isa is.
Ami. Hi, Ami.
Hi.
Yan, okay.
Yan, si
Ami, ready,
magaling
ha?
yan.
Listen
Ami.
very well, ha? Listen
Okay.
very well, ha? A human fetus acquires fingerprints at the age of 3 months. Answer, true or false?
False.
I think it's true.
Who said true? Okay, yet one again. Yet one again, ha? 500 again for Yet. Yeah? Okay, Yet? See, she is a prayerful person. She's winning. Okay.
Number 18.
Okay, ilan na 18 na? O, dalawa na lang, ha? Bear with me. Kailangan
Tatlo.
ipamigay namin to
Tatlo
kasi
pa.
ibinudget ito ni Sam. Pinaghirapan namin pa-aprobahan. Okay? Okay, facts about doctors. Who will answer?
Mary Ann McCoy.
Marianne, okay. Are there more female than male pediatricians? True or false?
False.
I'm sorry.
True.
Who said true? Who said true?
Me.
Sino niya?
Seni. I said yes.
Oh,
True.
Zeni. Okay, panalo si Zeni. O, isa na lang, ha? Isa na lang ba?
Hindi, 19 na. Dalawa pa,
19 na. 19, isa na lang.
19, 20.
So, anong
Dalawa
19?
pa. Number 19 pa lang tayo.
Wow, naghahanap ako ng question.
Oo.
Teka muna.
Dalawa
ha?
pa.
Dalawa pa? Teka.
Mm.
Pediatrician tinanong mo.
Mm.
So,
Teka,
No.
sandali, ha? O, pag wala na ako makita, si doktor ang pagagawin ko.
ano?
Dr. Lisa, tulungan mo ako. Dalawa pang questions. Oo.
Hindi pa. Hindi pa.
What's that?
Sandali na lang.
Ano yun? Sino yan?
Maalala ba niyo?
Teka muna, sino yung maglalaba dyan? Mamaya na kayo maglaba, ha? Pagkatapos ng dalawang question, ha?
Dalawa na lang.
Isali sa labahan nyo, ha?
Maglalaba pa.
Oo. Masano lang laundry nila. Okay. Who can help me with two other questions? Dr. Jake and Dr. Sandra. Can you help me? Naubusan yata ako.
Hi, Miss Mila.
Yes, Dr. Jake.
Question po siguro, how many minutes yung recommended po for exercise?
Oh, ayan. Sino sasagot?
How many minutes?
How
At
many
least
minutes?
20 minutes.
30. Alam ko yun.
At least 20 minutes.
Ano yung
Ano po
doctor
ulit yun?
tama?
30 minutes po.
20?
Bingo.
30. 30.
Ah, okay. Sino nanalo? Sino nakasagot?
30.
Yeah, who said 30?
Ako.
30 minutes.
Sino si
Efren
ako?
ba? Efren,
si
ikaw
ako?
ba?
Yes.
Efren Ayo. Si Efren
Okay.
Ayo.
Efren Ayo. Okay. Sige, last
Ano lang?
question. Last question.
Bebot mong sada. Ikaw naman.
Doc, isa pang question, please. So, ano ko complete?
Oh, sige po. Last question. Ano po yung tatlong M?
Ayan.
Bawal pong pagkain.
Maalat.
Sinong sasagot?
Easy.
Lagyan mo pang konting patis din.
Si si Tony Garcia ulit.
Tony Garcia daw.
Tony Garcia ulit. Sige, okay. Please give the answers. Apat na M.
Tatlo po, tatlo.
Tatlo.
Maalat, matamis, and mataba.
Yun!
Okay, very good.
Congratulations!
All right. That concludes our but I would like to thank our doctors, the three doctors, Dr. Lisa, Dr. Sandra, and Dr. Jake, and all of you. But before we end, please, we ask you to accomplish the survey form that we posted on the chat room, or if you did not get it, padadala namin sa inyong Viber or sa email. We will collect the responses and give it to Dr. Lisa, and she will give us. Dr. Lisa, ano ba yung na yon? You will analyze, or I haven't seen it yet, Dr. Lisa? Dr. Lisa?
The form actually has a summary. So
A what?
the Google form
Yes.
provides us a quick summary of the responses. So we can collate those and send it to everyone.
Okay, yan, nadinig nyo ha. Yung Google form na pinadala, bibigay namin sa inyo. We will assist you in accomplishing it. The Secretariat should have an attendance, no? Kaya lang, pwede para makita natin yung attendance, i-on nyo yung mga video nyo. This will be posted in the website, no? Okay, paki-on ang inyong mga video kasi ano tayo, picture taking. Ha? Ilang screens ba tayo, Norman?
We have 2 screens.
2 screens. Okay. Please
Yes,
go to Tony Garcia. Please go to your yan yung ano. On yung ano. Aida, turn on your video. Mirna, who else has not turned on the video? Okay, picture taking ha, pang attendance to ha. Okay, yung mga nandito kasama sa raffle sa Christmas. Okay? December 10 is the next event. Kasama sa pag hindi kayo nag-on ng video, hindi ko kayo ilalagay sa ano sa raffle. Joke lang.
Joke
Joke lang, hindi tayo malupit. Okay, sige.
Okay.
Mirna, okay, Norman, are we ready?
Yes, ready. Okay, in
Alright.
3,
Smile.
2, 1, smile. Okay, page 2. Ready? 3. Wait lang. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thanks everyone.
Thank you. Kasi Mr. Orbegoso, hindi maka-on ng video, mahina daw ang wifi. Yeah, kasama ka pa rin sa raffle, Mr. Orbegoso. But you can, no? Oo. Presence is required, no? Okay. So, before we end, I'd like to ask again Dr. Lisa for some parting words because she's the spirit behind this webinar. Hindi tumatuloy-tuloy, but because of her hard work, we did. Focus naman si spotlight video on Dr. Lisa so we can see her.
Thank you, Mila. I was just about to write in the chat box na it was really wonderful to spend this afternoon with such a high energy group. Natutuwa kami because you were able to provide us the channel in which to engage with such a very happy community of supporters. Parang we welcome, sabi nga ni Jake, and I agree with Jake na this is really a good platform, no, to really continue your fellowship, to be able to engage and be updated. And we are thankful for this because it's also our way to give back to communities, and you have provided us that opportunity. So we look forward to how we can assist you and of course how we can engage better to address the evolving needs of your community as we go through the pandemic because sabi nga ni Jake, sabi nga ni Sandy, it's a new normal and it's really a good way to recalibrate how we do things. So congratulations sa inyo for spearheading such an activity.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Doctora. And we look forward to more webinars like this. Bago tayo mga next year sa Christmas, hindi na virtual. Magfe-face-to-face tayo na if we are careful and we take care of ourselves, no? Because pag kayong masyadong complacent, may COVID pa. All right. Okay. With that, I thank everyone for participating. Dr. Lisa, Dr. Jake, Dr. Sandy, and all of you. Because without you, without your support, this will not be possible, no? And thank you to the Board of Directors, Trustees for supporting us in our webinars. Thank you. See you on December 10.
All
And
right.
please attend. Please attend because ang winner, pag hindi nag-attend, hindi pwede kasi presence is required. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend. Have a good May God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Much, Mamila.
Thank you. May I
Thank you.
ask the secretary to stay behind? Thank you.
Thank you.